A major shakeup tonight at Boeing after a string of scary incidents involving the aircraft. The company's CEO announcing today he will step down.
China's government has reportedly ordered its domestic airlines to stop accepting deliveries of Boeing jets and to halt purchases of aircraft parts from the U.S.
Two overnight machinists at Boeing here in St. Louis are operating without a contract agreement.
Workers have voted down a recent offer, and the current agreement expired at midnight.
A storm is brewing in the heart of American industry, not sparked by scandal or sudden catastrophe, but by a corporate choice that sent shockwaves far beyond the executive suite. A single announcement tipped the scales between one of the nation's most storied manufacturers and the government that long stood behind it. Boeing, a titan of American aerospace, disclosed plans to shift part of its production to Mexico. What seemed a strategic business maneuver quickly ignited a national firestorm. Within days, the White House fired back with a bruising threat: a 200% tariff on aircraft built overseas. A company that once embodied American industrial might now find itself boxed in on its own turf. The question looms: how far will this clash escalate? And who will pay the steepest price? The opening act of this drama wasn't scripted for public spectacle. It unfolded in a private phone call, the kind that typically fades into obscurity. On one end was the President of the United States. On the other, the CEO of a company long seen as a beacon of American ingenuity. The silence between them crackled with tension. Their words, though measured, carried weight. That brief exchange set off a chain reaction, thrusting a boardroom decision into the arena of global politics. Far from diffusing the conflict, the call sharpened it. Boeing's CEO, Kelly Ortberg, refused to back down. Rather than retreat, he doubled down, making a public stand that rattled markets, sparked political fury, and threw global supply chains into disarray. Boeing, battered by years of financial strain and reputational damage, had been hunting for ways to cut costs and regain its edge. Moving production to Mexico appeared a logical step, in line with global manufacturing trends. But the timing crashed headlong into a political climate charged with nationalism. What could have been a routine business decision became a lightning rod for controversy. The White House responded with speed and force, declaring that any aircraft assembled abroad would face a crippling 200% tariff if sold to U.S. airlines. The message was stark, the stakes clear. Boeing risked losing its grip on the domestic market, the bedrock of its success. Yet Ortberg stood firm, insisting the company's path would be shaped by global competitiveness, shareholder value, and supply chain resilience, not fleeting political pressures. The tariff, meant as a cudgel, became a test of whether corporations can still chart their own course in a world where politics increasingly overshadows economics. Behind closed doors, talks grew heated. Lobbyists, economists, and policymakers clashed over the fallout. Some warned of catastrophic ripple effects across the aviation sector. Others saw the tariffs as a vital shield for American jobs. Public debate exploded. The administration's supporters cast Boeing's move as a betrayal of national loyalty, while the company framed it as a matter of survival in a cutthroat global market. The international backlash was swift. China, a key Boeing customer, slapped a 125% tariff on U.S. aircraft imports. Orders stalled, contracts hung in limbo, and billions in aircraft sat idle in warehouses, their fate uncertain. The pain spread beyond Boeing, hitting suppliers, transport firms, and communities from Wichita to Everett, where livelihoods depend on the aviation supply chain. Rather than buckle, Ortberg pivoted. He unveiled plans to redirect stranded aircraft to fast-growing markets in South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Latin America, regions less tangled in political strife. The move signaled Boeing's intent to loosen its reliance on Washington's favor and assert its global independence. Results came quickly. By Q1 2025, Boeing delivered 130 aircraft, up sharply from 83 the prior year. Revenue climbed 18% to nearly $20 billion, though cash flow remained in the red. Analysts were caught off guard by the recovery's pace, and Ortberg projected positive cash flow by year's end. But the numbers hid deeper tensions. European customers, like Ryanair, warned they'd turn to Airbus or China's Comac if tariffs drove up costs. Airlines prized affordability and stability, not political showdowns. That private call between the president and Ortberg became a defining moment, symbolizing the broader tug-of-war between corporate autonomy and government power. Tariffs reshaped the aviation ecosystem, straining suppliers, logistics, and labor markets. A jetliner, built from thousands of parts sourced worldwide, revealed the fragility of global supply chains. One decision could unravel years of planning. Was Ortberg's defiance a reckless gamble or a courageous stand for independence? The answer hinges on Boeing's performance and how governments, investors, and clients respond. The saga exposed a stark truth. Resilience today demands not just financial strength, but the ability to weather political tempests without losing course. As nationalism pushes for reshoring, global labor and markets remain critical. Boeing's fight is a glimpse into the future, where corporations must choose between political allegiance and global ambition, a choice no longer abstract, but urgent and unavoidable.